just move. One step at a time, just move. Like a waterfall, just move. Like the sun every day across the sky. Move. There's a calling deep inside. I won't ignore and I won't fight. And I know better than to let it go. Been there, done that, tired of that road. And I lose my sleep if I can't breathe. There's nothing more than love that I need. Staring out at 1,000 miles in front of me. Inch by inch I move this mountain. I thought impossible, drop by drop my tears are falling. Filling up, it's enough to just move. How many times have I told myself that I gotta get out of bed? How many times have I told myself that I'll do it tomorrow? How many times have I told myself that it's all in my head? It's all in my head. Then I wake up and I break up with the has-been story of my life as I lay down with the lights down and I let myself out of this standstill. And just move. One step at a time, just move. Like a waterfall, just move. Like the sun every day across the sky. Move. There's a calling deep inside. I won't ignore and I won't fight. And I know better than to let it go. Been there, done that, tired of that road. And I lose my sleep if I can't breathe. There's nothing more than love that I need. Staring out at 1,000 miles in front of me. Inch by inch I move this mountain. I thought impossible, drop by drop my tears are falling. Filling up, it's enough to just move. One step at a time, just move. Like a waterfall, just move. Like the sun every day across the sky. Move, 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 move. I can never give up. It's all I got now. I won't ever give up. That was all I know now. I can never give up. It's all I got now. I won't ever give up. No, I won't stop. Just move, move, just move. One step at a time. Move, just move. Like a waterfall. Move, just move. Like the sun every day across the sky. Move, just move. Move, just move. Move, just move. All this time I've been standing still, not really feeling like I can move, not really feeling anything. Sunrise turned into sunset, but I didn't notice, cause I wasn't focused upon anything, cause nothing could move me. Looking at you on this random Wednesday afternoon, I see the way out, I see the way in. I can finally see you, I can finally feel you. When I look in your eyes, I can finally see you. Whatever our problems, are never the end. Whatever the winds bring, we'll always sing. Work it out, work it out, work it out. work it out. Whatever our problems, from now to the end, whatever the winds bring, we'll always sing. We'll work it out. We'll work it out. We'll work it out. We'll work it out. We'll work it softly on a ray of sunshine, and it's gonna shine all night. Let's take this wave that we're riding, cloud that we're climbing, all the way above the sky. Let's float away, let the clock spin, take us to another day. Oh, let the clock spin, take us to another day. Oh, ooh, hey, hey, I see your smile I'd give it up in a heartbeat just to stay with you. Yeah, people tell me that freedom's not a point of view. Oh, when I'm without you, I'm locked inside. No circumstances can make it right. The light that shines inside me when I'm with you, it's true. Yeah, it's true. You know I'm in. Give up anything to make this go, even if it goes slow. Running game in shadows is taking its toll. Running to the light, it's time to be bold. Falling into hands that open what I need to be held. Makes my eyes melt. Love is a way of life with you. Love has a face that matches you. I know it's all that we need, so mark my words, never give up on you. How many stairs do I have to climb to care for you? How many seas do I have to swim to share with you? How many songs do I have to sing with you? How many lives do I have to live with you? How many times was my heart break to be with you? Be with you, oh. Love is a way of life with you. Love has a face that matches you. I know it's all that we need, so mark my words and tell me what I'm living for, cause tell me what I'm living for, cause I'm living for you. And I'm living for you. If it's a way of life with you, oh, oh, oh. Love is a way of life with you. Love is a way of life with you. Oh,
Hello, 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 my friends. Welcome to the evening edition of the David Blair Music Show podcast, episode number 10. Today, we are going to be having an interview with the producer of my song, the new single, Way of Life, which comes out July 31st. That's just one day under 2 weeks. That means this comes out on a Friday. Today's a Saturday, of course. It's 7 p.m. Berlin time and 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time for my friends out on the West Coast there. Yes, I'm looking forward to giving him a call shortly here on Skype. So that's what we're going to be talking about. The story behind it, for me, the destiny. I think the story is still being written, and I'm so excited to tell you guys all about it. So let's do that. Without further ado, here goes a little intro.
This is a soundtrack to our conversation. You're laughter in my...
Yeah, so I'm back. It is a bright sunny day. As you can tell, I decided to do a slightly different angle today because I was going to jam out the song on keyboard today, and I did that 1 p.m. on the 1 p.m. show earlier today, the afternoon show, and I was thinking of doing it again. So I may do that for you guys a little bit later. I think I will. I'm going to have to because I'm going to be doing an acoustic version of the song. I'll be releasing an acoustic version of the song as well, which I'm really excited to do as well. And I'm going to make it probably video. I'm going to go to like a piano bar somewhere here in Vancouver, in Berlin. Oh my God, did I say that? Is that a Freudian slip? Am I starting to feel at home here in Berlin? Oh my God. It's craziness. What? The sun's right in my... Of course it changes angles. I had it perfect before, but anyway, hopefully it's not too... you can see me okay. So... I was going to start the show off a little bit with a little bit of intro. So Oscillian, he first name's John. I'm sure he's fine if I say John. Is great producer that I met. Well, you know what? Actually, let's get into the story. I'm gonna tell you a little bit about him, and then we're just gonna jump right in and then do the interview because I think me and him can tell it together. Because I want to hear his memories and of meeting me and whatnot back in Sweden. I think it was 2015. Before we get into it, though, I'll do a quick thank you and shout out to my patrons who support the show every week and through the months. So here it is: Christopher Methler, thank you very much. Ute and Peter Stambach, thank you. Bettina and Heinz Schwer, Kathy Willem Wary. Of course, I love you guys. I don't know why I'm reading that. Of course, yeah. I mean, Kim Mady, Shauna Verburg, and Ute Jonatad. Thank you guys so much for being patrons of the show and supporting me. If you guys want to support the show and you want to be a patron yourself and receive extra goodies and extra special treatment from me, like birthday video wishes personally to you and to your family and friends. Also, the single right now, which you could have in your own personal library that you can use for whatever you want to. You could do that, and you would have access to the newest singles that are coming out going forward, and as well music that I have never released and will never get released. It's just secret, beautiful, amazing songs that just will not get released. So just for you, just hidden as a special treasure. Then you can go, it's a little 3-tier system, and you can go to davidblairsongs.com, become a patron. You can see it there on the page. So this story goes back 4 years to Rio de Janeiro. For me, I'm curious to see what John says. Let's give him a quick call here on Skype, and let's get him in here. Let's go here, and then I'm going to close my video off. I hope he's there. I told him, we talked. He said he was going to call, or he did call me, and then I said I was going to give him a call. So I'm hoping. Come on, John. Dun, 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 dun. Do you hear that? Oh, I hear it. Oh, John, you're there. Okay, fantastic. Okay, let me just do this there. Okay. So, I'm going to just adjust this a little bit. We are good. Oh my, you're looking good. I haven't seen you in so long. Okay. All right. Here we go. All right. I have some.
Can you hear me fine?
I can. I believe, and I'll just make sure that everybody can. I'm gonna make you small so that it doesn't, doesn't kind of lose frames in the. I think this should be good here.
Yeah, cool.
This is looking good.
Check one.
Okay, I'm gonna check with my wife. I think I see you there. The green light's going on there. Let me quickly check with my. Darling, do you hear it, John? She's my... Yeah? Okay, good. So we're good. John, we're great. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the David Blair Music Show podcast. Dude, I'm so excited to talk to you. Oh my God, since we met in when did we meet? 2015 at the Live at Heart Music Festival in
Yeah, I guess it was in 2015 in Örebro here in Sweden.
Örebro, yeah, yes, that's right. It took me like 6 months to learn how to say that. Örebro. The words.
But you got to hang with it.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I love the Swedes. I mean, I'm telling you, I got a couple record deals with a guy named Rexius, a label called Rexius Records out in Göteborg.
Yeah, perfect. That's spot on.
Gothenburg for us people in English. And anyway,
Yeah.
so I just I love Sweden. Great people up there. So today I wanted to get into our single, Way of Life. My God, what a story this is. I'm hoping that it'll be somewhere like, eventually the song will be like kind of like a Hallelujah story. Do you know the story behind Hallelujah? Do you know the song Hallelujah, right?
No, I haven't heard of it.
I'm going to tell a quick, I'm going to fill you in quickly and so I can let all the fans know the story of Hallelujah. So in 1984, a guy named Leonard Cohen wrote this song called Hallelujah. And the record label hated it. And they said, do not record that song. We don't want it. We don't want it. Please don't do it. But Leonard Cohen's a pretty stubborn dude. And, of course, you have to be stubborn if you're going to make it in music. You know that, John. We know that. Yeah. So you have to be persistent. So he recorded it anyway. And the label tried to destroy it, but he somehow survived that. He recorded it, and it was a terrible version, to be honest with you. I've listened to it. It's on YouTube. It's got like 50,000 streams or 50,000 views, which for Leonard Cohen's like nothing. And it wasn't the greatest. But what's amazing is somebody else saw the gold in that song, and they covered it. And I've forgotten his name, but then somebody heard his version, which is Jeff Buckley heard his version while he was babysitting somebody and said, I want to cover this song. And you know Jeff Buckley. Maybe you've probably heard of it.
For sure, yeah.
He did an amazing version.
His version is so amazing.
It makes you want to cry. You're just like, oh my God, that guitar in the beginning is so creepy and so I don't know how to say it, just so beautiful, unbelievable, just, bone chilling. And then it wasn't until and that was beautiful, but it wasn't until Shrek used it in the movie, which then the whole world got to know about it, and now it's like pretty much the national anthem in Germany. And this song,
it was in
Shrek.
So first one was on Shrek.
Yes, and it blew up. So years later, so here it is. Leonard Cohen, writes it. Jeff Buckley, so someone else covers it. Then Jeff Buckley covers it. Then he dies, and it's just kind of buried there in the background. And then Shrek, it's in a movie called Shrek, and then it just blows up, and then it's on all the shows, of course. All the game, not the game, the voice of voice.
Yeah,
everybody
for sure.
covers it, and it just became everybody loved the song. So and then so now it's kind of Leonard Cohen's dying thing. So now will our song be that? I don't think so. But
aim for the sky, man.
Here's the story. Here's the story. I mean, and songs are like that. How I Will Always Love You. That was written in 1974 by Dolly Parton, but of course it didn't become huge until 1990, right, when Whitney Houston covered it. So that's 16 years later. So here's our song, Way of Life. You send me. So let's go back actually how we know each other a little bit. So we met at this music festival, and you're working with an artist named
Nina. She's based in London, but she's originally from Berlin.
Yeah, that's right. And she's gorgeous, and she does. Now, what would you call your? This is so funny because it's asking you, what is our song? what style of music is our song? And I go, I think it's synth pop, and you're like, no, this is not synth pop. There's too little synth in it. There's not enough synth in it.
Exactly. We basically we got a piano. Maybe like the bass track of it is more like the synthy genre.
Okay.
But the artist Nina that I was working with, or I'm still working with her now. Because we started out back in 2015, around about the same time we met, I guess. Because that was one of the first times when we actually met, me and Nina, for real, in Örebro. Okay. So we were at this conference, I think. Yeah. There was like a Q&A with people in the business from A&R and also producers. And I think that's how we met, actually. And... and take it away from there. I mean, we started doing some remixes, and yeah, you can tell the rest of the story.
So I'll tell I want to tell my side, because there's some parts of the story I don't know from your side, and I'm really curious to know what your thoughts were. Okay, so basically, I met John. Of course, we met each other at the festival, and then we went away, and I have to admit, sometimes I'm not the best. I'll be honest with you, it's funny. I love talking and I love people, but sometimes I'm not the best at networking and kind of seeing people's talents and going, hey, maybe I can work with this person or work with that person. Sometimes I'm just, I don't know, didn't get it. So, but I somehow connected with you. I felt like we had a good vibe. You're similar age to me. So
yeah.
I don't know, somehow I felt good about it. And again, as well with Nina, I thought she had just a really, really great vibe to her. Clearly, obviously she does. And she's had some tremendous success. So anyway, so we went away from that, and then I signed a record deal in 2016 with my small label in Germany, but he's a radio promoter. So he's like, you know what? I love the album, but some of the songs, he wanted to kind of. And and I tried to remember it, and I didn't do it. Who was the guy that we tried to make it after? Matt Simon. We tried to do the song a little bit shaped after Matt Simon's deepened mix of that song.
Yeah, right. We were going for that tropical house vibe,
yes.
I think.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because we thought, because I think Matt Simon kind of does fit me, his kind of style, and he did someone did a remix of his acoustic song, just totally acoustic song, and it became a huge hit for him. Like it slowly climbed the charts, and it kept going and going and going. So,
but wait, Dave, was this like in the beginning when you moved to Germany, or you just have you been living there for a long period of time?
I've been in CC. This is great. So people, you see how we don't even. I love it. I moved here in 2013, November 1st, 2013 was when I first arrived, and then I just started playing shows pretty much right away. Well, it took a little bit. Yeah, I had some shows booked pretty much right away from an artist to help book a couple shows, and then it wasn't until and then I had some money left from when I sold my house in Canada, so I was using that money to get around and go to festivals and stuff like that, and then that ran out soon after we met. 2015, I think November 2015. I was actually in Gothenburg, and the last of my money was done, and I just finished playing a show there, and then it started raining, and then someone smashed my car window and stole my laptop and all my stuff. And so it was November. I'll never forget it. Of course, October 2015. And I was sitting there in the rain going, but it didn't rain right away. First, they smashed the window, and I didn't realize my stuff was gone. And then all of a sudden, my laptop's gone, all my stuff's gone. And I'm like, luckily my guitar wasn't stolen because it was still in the place where I'd play the gig. I was kind of just bringing stuff back. And I looked up at the heavens and I go, oh man, this really sucks. My heart just sank. All my pictures, so many music ideas,
rock bottom,
gone, right? Yeah. And then it starts to rain. I thought that's at that moment where I feel like I'm in a movie. Now it's like, okay, it has, just when you think it gets bad, then there has to be a little insult to, injury to insult, insult to the injury. It's like, oh my God, so it's raining. Anyway, so that was kind of the beginning. Well, I don't know what do you say, but
wow, that's a story. That's quite a story.
That was kind of 2015 was a bit of a tough year for me, and anyway, so
and we're in a tough year now as well. I mean, things repeat.
Cycles 4 years later, no, 5 years later.
Yeah.
Well, I got to say though, but this year has turned out to be something pretty amazing for me, and I'll explain a little bit about that. And I think it's kind of a rebirth.
Yeah, for sure.
It's been quite an amazing turn. I mean, this podcast is kind of part of it as well. I don't think I would have ever made a podcast if I wasn't stuck at home doing online concerts.
That's weird, right? I mean, quarantine does stuff that you're in this creative mood, or basically you have a lot of time on your hands, so why not put into good use?
Well, and this as well too. I think limitations make you more creative. Sometimes you get paralyzed by way too many choices. And if I told you, listen, do anything you want to, you'd be as an artist, sometimes that's paralyzing. If I say you got to do just a song it has to be in the 80s, whatever it is, you'd be like, okay, cool. I know what I'm going to do, and I'm going to get creative, because I'm limited, right? In a way, right? So I think for me, I was like, okay, I'm limited. I can't drive. I can't do anything. I'm going to try and make my show interesting as possible. Anyway, to focus it, where was I again? So work it out. So I had my son.
Yeah, the contract and everything.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm here. It's I signed a record deal with a first label there in 2014, January 2014. I meet somebody, And then our deal kind of was over by the time 2016 came. I kind of wanted to move on and do a new project with somebody else. I wasn't satisfied with what was going on. Good guy, but just wasn't where I wanted to go with it. So then, but I met the radio promoter through this guy, and he was really liking what I was doing. And so he said, yeah, let's do it. I'll do all the radio promotion for it. Let's try and do what we can. But he wasn't able to get too much traction with it. And I guess it was just doesn't suit the radio format. So he thought, okay, let's try this remix thing. And then I thought of you. Somehow you came up, and I thought, hey, can we do remix? And I reached out to some producers, and you blew me away. I really no, you really did. I was, because it's hard for someone to. I think that's that magic thing, that's when I kind of fell in love with you, because it's like, oh, I didn't even have to tell him anything, and he kind of got it. He got it. Like you did a couple mixes, but you did a lot of work. You made like about 7 or 8 mixes, and I was so impressed. And then you even did another mix of Say No, which was fantastic. We're gonna get that out there as well. But
for sure. I mean, that's one.
Yeah, I really loved what you did with that song too. So. Let me play something. Okay, you won't see this. I'm going to play something for the people out there, because I did a little in 2016. And I'm going to just tell you what I'm going to show them. In 2016, when you sent me the tracks, I was in Rio de Janeiro for the Olympics. When you sent me
really?
White
I didn't
Keys.
know that.
Yeah, I was a volunteer there for the Olympics.
Wait, was that when you were running and stuff like that?
Yes, I was training for a marathon.
I remember.
Ironically, I was at a total low point in my life. Here it was, I was living my quote-unquote dream. I'd always wanted to go to the Olympics, volunteer at it, but at the same time, I felt so empty inside, and I really felt like, I don't know, am I, I had so much, I was putting so much pressure on myself. I really couldn't be my creative self, so it was a really difficult time for me. And at the same time, it was such mixed emotions, it was really at this fulfilling a dream, but there's nothing worse than fulfilling a dream and it's not kind of what you thought it would be. Then you're like, oh my God, that was the thing I was hoping was going to be this great moment for me, and it's not. What's going on? So it was very interesting time for me at the time, and I had just met my future wife then. We had our first date July 2nd, and then boom, I get this email that's called White Keys. So I love it. I'm going to play the video though, that I made of me riding a moped up a favela in Rio de Janeiro to your track of Work It Out. So I'm going to play that for the fans here, for my people out there. 1 second here. Let's go to that. 1 second. Oops. No, that's not what I was doing. That's not it. The favela. Here we go.
All this time I've been standing still, not really feeling like I can move, not really feeling.
I posted it on Facebook so you can see it later, John. Yeah. It's crazy. They drive crazy in Brazil. It's like a moped, so they don't they go into oncoming traffic just to pass things,
Looking at you on this Wednesday.
I think it was. I'm pretty positive. I think it was. Yeah. I was holding on tight.
I can finally see you. I can finally feel.
And I love when you put sax in there as well. You did so much work with it. Like you put the saxophone line in there.
See you. Whatever our problems, we're never the end. Whatever the winds bring, we'll always sing. We'll work it out. We'll work it out. We'll work it out.
Yes, of course. Like Bruno.
We'll work it out. We'll work it out. We'll work it out. We'll work it out.
I love that little saxophone line in there. That's cool. That's what I'm playing right now. Okay. Yeah, it needs more saxophone. I love it. More cowbell. No. Okay, and I'm not sure. I'm not sure if anybody could hear you while we were chatting there, but we were just talking. He was just talking about, because I think when I go from different window to window, people can't hear what you were saying. So I'll just cover what he was saying. John was just talking about just how he's had a background in all kinds of different genres of music, which is why he came up with that saxophone line, that I love it. It's so great. I think it's so fun. Saxophone is such an underrated instrument, especially when it comes to, I think, synth music or techno. Or forgive my language with I don't know what.
But the saxophone is having a revival right now.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. A couple years ago when I first came here, I remember there was one song that was just you're right. Of course, because of that. What was that song that on TikTok that blew up and went crazy? It was the number one song of the year. That one that's like, Dr. Saxman? No. What was it called again?
Was it that one that was part of the Eurovision Song Contest? I think it was from maybe Romania or something.
No. I'm not sure. There was one. No, but there was one. There's a big hit that came out of Australia. She's like, it's got a weird voice. The girl's like, she sings like this, like. Oh my God, she sings weird, but I'm like, how did this become? But it blew up on TikTok like crazy.
Oh, okay.
And then it just like TikTok now is such a way of.
The kids nowadays, it's all about.
But they do.
TikTok.
They blow it up. I'm telling you, TikTok has got an algorithm that is just there's no other social media. Instagram is trying to catch up with the Reels now. They just introduced Reels. They're trying to catch up to because they're trying to figure out like what do people like. It's crazy. Okay, so people, you saw the remix of what he did with Work It Out, and I was just super impressed with that. So I was like, this is super cool. So John, I'm going to tell my side of the story. So then I get this email that says White Keys, and like I said, my head was just full at the time, but so I listened to it and I go right away. I just love the dun, 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 dun. And I love, and is that 30 seconds or 16ths? I don't know what that is.
Oh, those are 16s. I mean, it depends on what kind of tempo you're in.
Okay, what tempo?
I see them as 16s.
Okay, so for me, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's probably 16th.
Really fast.
Okay, sure, no worries. My wife wants to know more questions and talk less. So so she wants to get down to the meat of it all. So
sure.
What were you thinking when you wrote White Keys? What was going? What's your process?
But since we were working on a couple of remixes, especially that one, Work It Out, but we also worked on Say No, and I was also dabbling a bit with my production with Nina, going into a more pop-oriented line of songs, and I thought, well, why don't I write something for David? And I wrote something that I felt was pretty catchy and had that kind of vibe of those songs we were working on. And then I wondered, what am I going to call this? It's always difficult, when you have like an instrumental track and to come up with a name. But then I realized that it was all in the white keys on the keyboard, so no black keys. So basically C major scale, but I don't know if it transposed or anything. So that's why I called it white keys. It's basic color thing, yeah.
So you actually wrote that for me though, with me in mind then.
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool. I thought maybe there's some leftover thing that you had, and then you.
No.
Oh my God!
It came from us working on those remixes.
Wow.
So I wanted to write something. Maybe this will suit David and his voice. So that's why I sent it to you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, John, I gotta say thank you very much. Well, here's my part of the story then. So I get the track and I listened to that immediately. I loved it. I thought this is a really cool track. But I'm in Brazil and I didn't have time to work on it right away. I come back. I'm still doing my songwriting Sundays. Every Sunday I was writing songs and doing my thing. That ended around. I started it in 2015, so it ended. Probably actually ended roughly around that time actually when I went to there. And then I tried to bring it back, and it wasn't until May 7th, 2017 that I listened to it again. I said, listen, I'm going to finish this up and use this for a Songwriting Sunday episode. So I wrote this on a Sunday. Now, this is a year after me and my wife had met, basically May 28th, 2016. I know it because we met at my show.
Yeah.
And so a year later, I'd been to 2 love coaches. I mean, John, I don't know how you for your relationship, but for me, I had a tremendous challenge getting past 3 months with anybody that I'd ever dated before. And I thought this time I really want to stick it out. I feel like she's a great girl. She's just someone with great qualities. And I'm not saying that just because my wife's on the show here, but I really was like, she just has so many, for me, I felt like deep down she's got these great qualities. I feel like I could write a great story with this woman. So I'm like, I know I'm feeling doubts. I know I'm feeling all these things. What's going on here? So I went to one love coach in January, and he helped out quite a bit, but then it still wasn't getting to where I wanted it to be. And then I went to another love coach. I spent maybe like €1,000. I really wanted to give this 100% of myself. I thought, if this fails, she'll leave me because she knows everything about me. I've been honest about it, and I gave 100% effort. And what can I ask for more than if she leaves, she leaves, and that's fair because, I just didn't.
That's some high gamble poker game, I think.
It is, but at the end,
it's totally honest. I mean, great for you.
Yeah. So that's what I was going through. That's the honest truth, and so that's why I feel like this song has a little destiny to it. That's the whole point of the start of me starting it, because I felt like, here it is. I didn't write it right away, and it was this magical gold that I had in this chest, waiting for the right moment for the right lyrics to fit it. Because to me, it's got this anthem-y feel to it, a beautiful anthem-y feel. Like, you got this, Oh, can you hear that?
Yeah, sure. I can hear it. Yeah. But I think it goes back to my, because I had a thing for Bruce Hornsby back in the 90s. You remember?
Yes.
Yeah. So Walking in Memphis and those and that piano kind of riff is probably one of the major inspirations for the song that I sent to you. Yeah.
Wow.
So it has that kind of mood in it. Yeah.
Well, I'm loving anthems. I love anthems. And so this song just really spoke to me. And again, for me, I call it synth pop because for me, I have never done if you look at my music, it's all acoustic. Like everything's like raw drums, raw everything. There's nothing.
You're a singer-songwriter.
Yeah, there's nothing electronic about it. I'm pop.
Yeah.
I'm a pop, like soul acoustic. Like I'm not, Bob Dylan folk, but I am totally acoustic. So this is also a new direction for me to have anything electronic in it at all.
That's cool.
So it's really cool. So it just took a while. So yeah, when I wrote the lyrics, I was talking about just fighting the ego and kind of trying to be less selfish and more, not, just more serving to my wife to my girlfriend at the time. And just to think of myself less in that kind of way of like, just it's all about me and I'm hurt and she's doing this to me and blah, 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 blah. But rather just trying to see things for how they are and accept her for who she is and myself for who I am. And so I was like, that's what that first line comes in. It goes, I give it up in a heartbeat just to feel with you. That was the first lyric, and I changed it just to stay with you because I feel like just to stay with you. So I'd give it up. I give up my ego. I want to just kill my ego and let that go to be with you because we have so much more that we can do together. And then this line came out, love is a way of life. Later on that came out like, love is a way of life with you, love has a face that matches you. And I was like, oh, where did that come from? I'm like, and it was like, it just came as the song was being written. It just was like, how can I get past myself to be in this relationship and really be in a place of service and of love? And so it was really about our relationship, but then it's turned out to be now with this video that we're making about it. It's been out to be like, who are you as a person? What is this thing you cannot live without doing? Like you and me, when it comes to like music, if I was to tell you can't do music for the rest of your life, it would be like killing you.
I would be like handicapped more or less.
You would be. It would just you wouldn't be yourself. You would not be John. It would just it would be, and it'd be like, what's going on, right? So it's like that. So I thought, okay, let's because it's so anthemy. I just love that. Like tell me what your passion is. Like tell me who you are. And then that's where I kind of came up with that. So now we're just making this video for us. I'm really pumped about it, and I just can't even wait to do. And I'm going to do an acoustic version of it as well that I'm releasing.
I was wondering, David, because I sent you an instrumental, and you did like the melody and the lyrics on top of it, like the, as we producer call it, top line.
Yes.
But sometimes because I'm a singer-songwriter as well, but not in the way that you are singing, but I sing and I write melodies and lyrics as well. And sometimes when you write a song, it more or less writes itself when it comes to lyrics and melodies and everything. For me, those are the best ones, where the lyrics and the emotions almost come spontaneously. You're not, and then you have other types of tracks where like you're trying and trying to get that word doesn't work, and you try something else. What was the experience for you working on this one? Or can you recognize that flow
yeah,
of things?
100%. You know, I think that's kind of was the advantage of doing Songwriting Sundays, is I always had one day to do it, and I usually limited myself to around 2 hours. And I felt like if it was a struggle, then I kind of had to leave it. But I had one thing I learned when I did Songwriting Sundays is that you always have something to say. It's just a matter of letting go and letting your filters go and just saying it. And so I was always asking myself, what am I trying to say? And so in the beginning,
it's almost like you're surprising yourself. Like, what did I just sing that?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. I know.
That's cool.
I remember when love is a way of life. I looked at that going, and I told the Weary family here. I've got some loyal followers here, and I told them just last couple weeks ago. I said, Socrates, he's a philosopher, as you know. He said that artists are just interpreters of the gods. And I love that, because I feel like that's the experience that I feel is when it's natural, when the song writes itself, it's like you just found lyrics. It's not like you wrote them, but you just found them.
More or less like that.
It's like there's this treasure. So love is a way of life. I was like, wow, that's real. I just love that. I love it. Love is a way. It's I don't know. I felt like so that really spoke to me. But yeah, there was it started off with the struggle, and then when I say the struggle, I mean the fight with the ego. Is like, how can I love this girl? How can I, do it and it be fairly effortless? And then those lyrics came to me pretty fast. I remember that was because I just love that part when you change, when you like love. Oh no, or is it and then when you get to the A minor, like running in the shadow. Running game in shadows is taking its toll. Running to the light, it's time to be bold. That's the courage I'm talking about. Time to be bold. Time to be honest with someone.
I love that part. I love those lyrics as well.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah. I'm falling into hands that hold me when I need to be held. There's a vulnerability when my lies, and then love. And what's cool about the song is, I tried to follow the track that you sent me. I tried not to change it as much as possible to form me. I wanted to write to what you give me. So it forced me. That was the limitation.
That's the frame I gave you. I mean, work within these boundaries.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And that limitation allowed me to be creative and just think about what I wanted to say. And I just love that, that.
Cool.
And then, it was just a really cool breakdown. And that's the reason why it's a little different as well. It doesn't have this chorus right away. And I love it like that, because I feel like a little bit like Fix You. When you listen to Fix You, there is no chorus until the end. Then there's this huge, long 10-minute outro chorus, or like,
exactly.
Na 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 na. That's not a chorus. That's the outro. Except for
Hey Jude.
Hey Jude. Exactly. That's not. It's like it's just the verse, right? And then all of a sudden there's this huge chorus. Yeah. And to me, I've already showed it to radio, my radio guy and whatnot, and they're all like, "Yeah, there's no chorus." I'm like, "It's okay, no problem." For me, I love the song. I believe in the song. I love it the way it is, and I know it's not total radio format, but I do believe it's something that nowadays you can work things through streaming, and you can always go backwards and with success that way. So I feel like there's going to be some, and nowadays there's such a gray area between radio and playlists, because some playlists have 100,000 followers, and to me that's a radio station in Hamburg. You know what I'm saying? Right? I mean, that's... Yeah,
you're not limited to... It has to fit into a certain kind of templates, like no longer than 3 minutes, or... And I mean, nowadays, songs are probably best off if they're like 10 seconds to coincide with TikTok.
Yes.
But on the other side of the spectrum, you have like an audience that are really appreciating really long form work, like 6 minutes or even more. And maybe even listening to albums having a storyline and thematics and everything. So there's really a room for for any kind of expression nowadays. You're not stuck within this tiny box of commercial music, and I think that's the most liberating thing for an artist nowadays, working towards like a wide audience across the world thanks to the internet, more or less.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I remember maybe 10 or 15 years ago when if being a struggling artist here in Sweden, if you didn't have like a record deal, you didn't have like a channel to put out your music, and you never got in touch with an audience. And my audience nowadays, they're in America and in Russia and all over the place in Australia. So it's weird.
Yeah.
The thing, the way that the internet has democratized music, and also the expression of music, not to just fit into a very small box of like 3 minutes of radio play.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to ask you a little bit. So Oscillian, can you tell me about your name? How did you come up with your producer name, Oscillian? What does that mean?
Oh, that's quite a funny story, because I guess it's quite obvious that it's based on, if you're any kind of like synthesizer nerd, you know that an oscillator is like the part of the synthesizer that generates the sound. So Oscillian, yeah, oscillator, that part is quite it's quite obvious.
Okay.
But the ending part, like the en, I think it's based actually on my youth, where I played a lot of Dungeons and Dragons, D&D, like you know, the board game and stuff like that. Back in those days, everyone had like a name ending with en or whatever. It's like, I think like Tolkien-esque inspired stuff. So I actually created a name as a name for a synthesizer forum back like in the early 2000s. So I didn't use it as an artist name to begin with. It was actually my nickname on the forum.
Okay.
So then when I started to produce my own music, it felt kind of natural to use that one. Yeah.
So you're so there's a bit of a nerd side to you then, would you say?
Yeah, totally. I'm a huge science fiction and movie nerd.
Yes.
So yeah, that's a big influence for me when I write my music.
I've seen that, and you've got now music in a Netflix series coming up. I read that in your bio.
Yep.
So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, it's all started out almost like the way we started out our collaboration. Maybe like 4 or 5 years ago, I was contacted by a producer from Los Angeles, and he wanted to know if they could use one of my tracks just as a song featured in a television series they were working on. And I said, yeah, cool, that's fine, because I already produced the track and everything, and I felt really stoked about it being in some kind of like a movie or a television show. And then a couple of years ago, or maybe like 1 or 2 years ago, they were still working on the television show. I mean, it takes loads of time to record these things, and they wanted to know if I was interested in actually having more songs in the series. And eventually we ended up them asking me if I wanted to actually write the score for the entire show.
Wow.
So yeah, so we signed a contract on this I think around December, January, going from 19 to 20. And so I've been working basically up until now full time to write the score for this show. And they're like working on the show, cutting the show, sending me the episodes, and I write both scores and also featured songs in the show. So it's really interesting. Very
amazing. That's just amazing.
Such a challenge. It's quite a challenge, but I'm up
I can
for it.
imagine. I can imagine.
Yeah.
I saw a little masterclass ad for Hans Zimmer. You must know Hans Zimmer, who's done scores for tons of movies and whatnot. He's from Germany, and I love the intro. He's like, he says, "Everybody will tell you." He said, "I can tell you how to write a song with one word: story." And
Yeah,
then he
it
says,
is.
I have, and then
Yeah.
then he said, then the Castaneda clip, it says, I have absolutely no idea how to write your song, how to write your score. So he starts kind of from blank piece of paper, like he has no preconceived notions of anything. And I just thought
Yeah.
that was really, really cool. That was actually kind of how I got started as well. My first album, I had written a couple songs for a little indie film project, and he asked me to write the whole score for his thing, and I needed to write. It was so challenging. It was amazing though. I had to write an Asian song,
Yeah.
like a ding dong dong, like a karate
Yeah.
scene. I had to like figure that out. I'm like, are you kidding me? I had to write like some kind of techno music back then, which I had no idea. I had to, there's just so many things. So, but it was just,
Can you imagine David Blair writing techno
Yeah.
music?
it just was so funny. But yeah, I did do kind of a
Yeah.
party scene. It was pretty funny, and yeah, it was just really great. Okay, personal question.
But it's good to push the envelope. I think it's good. For every artist needs to try to test your boundaries and see what you can come up with.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely. I mean, it's and that's part of the reason why I love working with different producers as well. And when they send me tracks, I kind of try not to change it at all and see if I can write the top line to that, because that really makes it a lot of fun for me. And I think.
And I think you quite managed with this one.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, you succeeded.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. So I've got a personal question to you. As you know, I became a father, let's see here, 11 days ago.
Yep.
And
Congrats once
thank
again.
you very much. Appreciate that. You are a father. How many kids do you have?
I got two. I got two daughters.
Two daughters. Yeah. Wonderful. And how old are they again?
They're 11 and 14. So it was I've been past the stage we're at now with all the small kid stuff.
Yeah. And so how long have you been doing music? Or have you been doing music the whole time that you had your children, or did you do music like how does that work?
I kind of had like an hiatus during the first couple of years, because being a parent is quite a different way of life.
Yeah.
Compared to when I wasn't a parent. I mean, sure, I had a lot of time on my hands, but I never knew how much time I had on my hands before I became a parent. But once they got a bit older, I mean, they get more and more independent, and it's less of a chore being a parent. So I got into music when they were maybe when they were 5 or 6 years old, something like that. But I've been dabbling around the music during that time as well, but more getting back to it in a serious manner, maybe like 5 years into the race.
All right. And so, do you have any advice for me, being a new father? What's your advice for me, being a father and a musician, so you can relate a little to what I'm kind of going through right now? What do you have any words of advice, or just figure it out? I'll figure it out.
Be in the moment.
Okay.
That's my best advice, because time flies, man. They grow up so quickly. So be in the moment and appreciate all the time you have.
All right. Well,
yeah.
I'll tell you. I mean, yeah, absolutely. It's funny. He's only 11 days old. It's crazy, but he's actually changed.
It's weird for me to say that.
Yeah, but it's true. But it's actually amazing. He has changed quite a bit, actually. Just even in the 11 days, I see him every single day. I compared it to. I was telling Nicole today. I compared it to looking at a sunset. The sun's going down, and you can see it going down, but you kind of don't. Like if you look directly at it, you're like, oh, it's taking forever. But then you look away for
That's a good analogy.
You look away for 5 minutes, and it's down, right? You're like, but when you look directly at it, it doesn't feel like it's moving really. So that's to me what I feel like having a kid is like. Is like you if you look right at him, you think, he's not changing at all. But then 2 days later, you're like, okay, he's what's going on?
Yeah.
He's got.
Well, if you realize that now, it took me quite some time to get to that insight. So good luck, or congrats.
Well, hey, what can I say? John, really, really cool. Thanks so much for joining me on the show here today.
Thanks for having me,
man. It's been a pleasure to actually see you, and see what you're up to, and kind of reminisce on. I really didn't know you'd written the song for me, and that's kind of special. Actually, I really, really love it, and I'm just really glad it's kind of worked out here 4 years later, but I feel like now the song is actually going to get the light of day. We're really working on it together, me and Nicole, and really getting to spread it out to everybody. And I'm hoping everybody will love the song as much as you and me do, and the work on it. And excited about what's going on for you and Nina and all your projects with Netflix. What's the name of the show that you're working on with Netflix? Or are you allowed to say that right now or no?
It hasn't got a proper name yet. It's more like I have several NDAs signed up, so I can't really tell you that.
No worries.
But
Yes.
it's quite a rapid pace show, very eclectic. We're moving from expressions that are almost diametrically opposed to one another. So going from very, really scary stuff to really funny stuff. So it's going to be a blast. Yeah.
Well, that sounds exciting, man. It sounds really, really cool. I can't wait to do some more stuff with you. I'm definitely going to get Say No out there, your version of that later. I'm not sure if we'll do that this year, possibly next year. We'll see, but definitely I have a plan for that song. There's no doubt about it. And yeah, I'm really excited. Maybe, who knows, we will do some more stuff together. That would be amazing.
Anytime, man. Anytime.
So that'd be really cool. So for everybody watching, this is Oscillian. This is a producer of our new track, The Way of Life. It's coming out July 31st everywhere. And let's see here. What's this? Oh, sorry. And yeah, you can you'll be able to stream it then. You can save it now. You can pre-save it now on if you go to my Instagram profile, there's a little link there that you can click on it. You can save the song there. And what else? The video. Oh, that's right. We're making the video as well. You won't be able to, actually, I'm going to post this right now. I'm going to show you what I'm doing. I think I sent you the demo for what I was doing. But actually, I can show everybody because you won't be able to see it, John. So it's okay. Yeah, but I'm gonna do it.
Okay.
You can watch. You can rewatch the show a little later. I'll make a little clip for you.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
cool.
John, I'm just gonna say thank you again for coming to the show. I really appreciate it. Thank you for your time. Thank you for sending me this amazing track. I'm very, very thankful. You came into my life, and I do believe in destiny. So. They call it Schicksal here in Germany. I love that word, Schicksal.
Okay.
What is destiny in Swedish?
It's not as fancy. It's called öde.
What?
Öde.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Schicksal sounds better.
Yeah, totally.
So yes, have a great evening with your family, your daughters, and everybody, and we'll talk very, very soon. Okay.
You too, Dave. Have a nice one.
Thanks, John. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
All right. So, yes, everybody. There we go. There it is. So I hope you enjoyed the interview with John. As you can tell, he's an amazing guy. It just worked out great. I got to know some information. I didn't know that he'd written the track specifically for me. But it's kind of amazing. Some magical things happening there. Next weekend, I have a private show just for my patrons and anybody who wants to actually show up. You can be there. We're going to do a little hangout. I'm going to ask a couple questions of, your guys' opinion on things, what I'm doing. Me and Nicole are really growing the business here, and we can totally use your support. If you want to become a patron of the show, please go to the website, davidblairsongs.com, become a patron. I'd love to take care of you, and, let's rub each other's backs and take care of this, grow this beautiful thing. If you like the show, please do that. That'd be amazing. Next weekend, I'm doing a show on the 26th in English and auf Deutsch. And we are going to do it, 10:30 in the morning, Pacific Standard Time. That's going to be the English show. And the German show is going to be at 6 o'clock Berlin time. Oh, that's confusing, isn't it? Okay, let's go like this. The German show is first. The Deutsch show is at 6 p.m. Sunday on Berlin time. 6 p.m. Berlin, my time. Okay? And then, so 18 Uhr für meine deutsche Fans. And then, at 7:30, so an hour and a half later, that's 7:30 Berlin time, 10:30 Pacific Standard Time, I'm going to do it in English, okay, on next Sunday. We're going to do the Hangout show there. You can get tickets there at the private shows, davidblairsongs.com private shows, okay? And yes, so that's part of the whole service of your patron, but you can also buy tickets there. In 2 weeks, I have a special guest, Lara Samira. She's from The Voice of Germany. In 2017, she did amazing. She did a version of Let It Be. Check this out on ukulele. we're going to do a little show together, and she's also releasing a cover, her own version of No Off Switch, which, as you know, is my song. Let's quickly go here. I'm going to show you Lara on the voice. Check this out. Here she
When I
is.
find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And in my hour of darkness, she is standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be.
All right. So there she is. She ends up getting all four judges. So, but Samu was first. She ended up going to my team, actually, Yvonne, team Yvonne Catafeld. And then me and her did a song called Grow As We Go. Check this out. This is her.
You say there's so much you don't know.
Yeah, we did this in the apartment here.
You
As you
need
can
to
see,
go
guitars
and
in the back.
find yourself.
There.
You say you'd rather be alone, 'cause you think you won't find it tied to someone else. Ooh,
Wait for it. The harmony's coming up.
you said it's true that the growing
She's a little shy,
only
too,
happens
as you can see.
on your own. They don't know me and you. I don't think you have to leave. If the change is what you need, you can change right next to me. When you're high, I'll take the lows. You can ebb and I can flow, and we'll take it slow and grow as we go.
So yes, that's next week. Miss Lara Samira will be on the show. We are not next week. In 2 weeks, I apologize. Next week is a private show on Sunday, but in 2 weeks, I'm gonna have Lara Samira on the show, and I'm excited to do that to talk about her version of No Off Switch, and we're gonna talk about that story. We'll have her here in the studio. I wanted to just play one last little clip for you guys. It's a little screwed up right now. It didn't turn out the way I wanted it to, but I wanted to show you guys what I was kind of working on. This is what we're kind of doing. So you know the demo. I'm still actually looking for clips for you guys for the video for Way of Life. So if you guys want to be part of the video, I would love to have you in the video, what you're passionate about. So here, this is see, I asked my fans to show me their passion, to show me what they, and so here we go. Let's see. So that didn't work out.
I give it up in a heartbeat just to stay with you. Yeah. People tell me that freedom's on a point of view.
There's the where he is.
When I'm without you,
That was
I'm
supposed to be
locked
another clip there.
inside. No circumstances can make it right.
There's someone,
The light that shines inside
little
me
hockey
when
thing.
I'm with you.
my cellist player, my cello is back in Vancouver. So anyway, so that's what I'm kind of working on. I know it looks kind of rough so far, but I promise you it's going to turn out great. Which had a little technical difficulties with the video, but anyway, I want to show you what's up. So if you have a video and you want to share your passion, you want to be in the video, please send it to me. I've got a link in the description, and as well on my Instagram channel. You can upload there to the Dropbox, and we'll get it in there. All right. So thanks again for coming to the David Blair Music Show podcast. I hope you enjoyed your day. Enjoyed the show, and you will enjoy your day. It's 10 o'clock in the morning or 11 o'clock in the morning now, Pacific Standard Time, and 8 o'clock in the evening here in Berlin. So I hope you enjoyed John and as well Oscillian, the producer, and the song. I can't even wait for the song to come out and for you guys to just enjoy it and have it and listen to it and just live your life to the fullest. So thanks so much. Have yourself a wonderful day, evening, and we will see each other in 2 weeks with Lara Samira on the show, and on Sunday, the private show. If you want to come hang out, we'll do it in a Zoom session. It's very, very cool. All details on the website.